That was Leila Rahimli reporting from near the occupation line of the Georgia's breakaway region, Abkhazia. We spoke to several experts on the unrest. Here's what Pata Davitaya of the Georgian Party of European Democrats had to say.
Ситуация сложена в Абхазии сложная. На сегодняшний день идет народное выступление против.
The situation in Abkhazia is complex. Currently, there is a public uprising against the position of the separatist authorities, specifically regarding the so-called apartments law, which the parliament was supposed to ratify a year ago. This law stipulates that land in Abkhazia cannot be transferred to someone who is not an Abkhazian citizen. To address this, a law was introduced to ensure the safety of Russian investment. It allows for the construction of buildings on Abkhazian land, funded by investments, with the apartments being owned by the investors themselves. Everyone in Abkhazia understands the financial difficulties the region is facing. There is concern that the incoming funds would effectively lead to Abkhazia being entirely bought out. As a result, the public is opposing this. The apartments law was halted, but a new investment law was proposed and required ratification, sparking further protests from the population. The so-called president is now in hiding. The presidential administration and the government administration are surrounded by the people. The so-called president is currently in his ancestral village of Tamish. He has been given time to resign. He is negotiating, saying he will step down if the buildings are vacated, after which new elections will take place. The opposition is fighting for access to Russian budgetary funds. This is a reality. The administration is using the protests to present its stance, claiming they are not against Russia. Meanwhile, the president and the authorities in Abkhazia have created a difficult situation, trying to secure these funds for themselves. In reality, this is all about money. Russia, at this stage, is not losing anything. It will intervene at the right moment to install someone who can maintain control. If the current authorities remain in power, they will still be under Russia's control. The situation shows that Abkhazia does not know what to do with its independence. It's entirely dependent on the Russian Federation. Russia has already announced that it will stop funding Abkhazia and has already reduced its financial support. Now, the question is whether it will withdraw funding altogether. I believe they will have to concede to Russia to some extent. We will likely see Russian envoys sent to resolve these issues. In my opinion, the president will have to resign, as the population no longer supports him. Elections are scheduled for 2025, but it seems that within 2 months of his resignation, early presidential elections will be held. I'm confident that the opposition forces will win these elections. However, the same opposition forces will continue Russia's policies but will try to implement them in a slightly different way.